Welcome back to CNN Business Traveller. Once the aviation authorities decided it was safe to fly again, the airlines and the travel industry undertook a massive operation to get planes and passengers moving once again. Aisha Dergahi reports.
Airports and airlines braced themselves for the backlog as they faced the mammoth task of repositioning aircraft and cabin crew that had been grounded for days. Passengers who had missed flights or were due to fly were uncertain when they would be able to board. For most, the first port of call was their travel operator.
We noticed an increase of 300% of our calls, so we couldn't handle this number of calls. Nobody was prepared. So we had that kind of panics. One of the things that we had to do immediately was to try to automate all these functions that were possible to be automated that usually you don't need, like cancellations and things like that. So all our IT team was working to 4 o'clock in the morning during the first weekend to get these tools ready in order to ease the workload in the call center, right? So yes, we were a lot of people are sleeping very little during this week.
Opodo has 8 call centres around Europe, one of them in northern England, here in Leicester. Just 80 people were manning the phones during the crisis.
So then, what's this here then?
This is the screen that we use to control the answer rate, the number of calls that we have received, and the number of calls that we answer. Today we have 600 calls, and then we had a 98% ratio of answering, which is very good ratio. So we are back to normal in terms of call attendance.
How different was this number?
Horrible. 2,000.
2,000, and it was still the same number of people?
Yeah, more or less.
And how long would each call take around?
Depends very much on the kind of calls. There are some calls that is a matter of 2 minutes, and there are some calls that is a matter of 20 minutes, right? The problem that we found is that it's impossible to hire people to handle the calls because they are travel agents, they are specialized, and you cannot handle. So what we did is to ask our people to stay overtime and to ask our people to cancel holidays.
Good afternoon, through to Louise. How can I help?
Louise Junke worked throughout the volcanic disruption and during her 6 years as a travel agent has never had to answer so many calls, one after the other.
I didn't actually know about it until the Thursday when we got into work and some flights were getting cancelled. It was a bit like, oh, it's a bit of an eruption, can't be a big thing. And by the Friday, I started to think, oh, it's going to be a big thing, it's going to take a lot of clearing up. And I started to get a little bit worried.
Enabling flights to be cancelled online took some pressure off the travel agents to explain to distressed or confused passengers what to do next.
Yeah, there was lots of different questions. Most of them were about having a refund. If they didn't want to be reprotected on another flight, they were asking about how to get the refund, who would do it for them, how long it would take. So we had to answer all those questions. We deal with all the refunds for the airlines. Lots of people have started to ask about compensation. So depending on what compensation they're asking, we're referring them to the correct place, i.e. the airlines.
Compensation is a contentious issue. Under the regulation EU 261, airlines have to reimburse passengers for accommodation, food and phone calls during the volcanic disruption. Ryanair had refused to pay up, but later complied.